Hello, hello, everybody. So tonight we're going to have some fun, not like we don't always have fun, but we're going to talk a little bit about systems. I was listening to a Tony Robbins video yesterday and today, a podcast thing, and he was talking about how the odds of your success for your goal is only as strong as your systems are to support the goal. And he must have said that like three times in a period of like 20 minutes in this podcast. And I kept thinking about that and I thought, man, does that apply to my Mary Kay? So I, with a goal this year of doing 1 million, I have reached out to a couple $1 million directors and said, tell me about the systems you have in place to support $1 million unit. Because I know that I can't do exactly what I did last year because we didn't do 1 million. We did half. So I want to double that. So I know that I have to change some of my systems to support the goal. So I'm going to share with you guys 6 or 7 systems that I use that I honestly wish somebody had shown me when I started a gazillion years ago, because it would have made it's like where my business had a hole. And then I thought to myself, oh, I need a better system than this. Like I'd goof up on something and I'd think there's got to be a better way to this. So those of you who are watching it live, please feel free to type in the chat. I will check the chat if you have comments or you think of a system that I forgot or that's super important. So these are some really basic systems and they're kind of scattered as far as order goes. But one of the first things I'm going to talk about is when you go to do a party. So let me back up first by saying I came up with this sheet because my assistant about, I don't know, before COVID. So what is that, 6 or 7 or 8 years ago? She said to me, Diane, if you hand me one more slip of scratch paper with a lady's name and her skin type on it, I'm going to shoot myself. I was like, I didn't realize I was handing her that many, like a profile card, but I want them to fill it out. So I'd have a post-it note on, and then the post-it note would fall out. And then I'd have one profile on somebody's desk and my profile, and it was a disaster. So I came up with this sheet. It is on boards. It is also, I can list it, link it on my YouTube channel. It is a sheet that I do one for every single party or every facial. And so right up here, it says hostess's name and phone number and the hostess's address, because I'm assuming when I designed this that it was going to be in person. When I changed this, when we hit COVID and I was doing virtual parties, I literally take the second line, which says skin type, and I just type write their address in there. You can use the lines for whatever you want. So I book a party with Melanie. I put Melanie's name on here. Let's say it's in person. I give Melanie, this is very important because it even has a little check off down here. I make Melanie an invitation and I send Melanie a sample text. You do not want the hostess to come up with her own text. You never know what she's going to say. Hey, come over for a beer and this lady's going to do our face. Like you never know what she's going to say. And you want to get the names and numbers without asking her for the names and numbers. So I have a sample text that I can post in the chat later. I can post it in the comments of the YouTube video that just says, hey, I'm super excited. I'm having a spa session for me and some of my friends. I'd really love for you to come. Please, this is the important part. Please text my Mary Kay girl, Diane, at 925. She'll give my phone number. And then it says, with your skin type, and she'll have your custom goodie bag ready for you. I can't wait to see you. I hope you can make it. Love, Melanie. And I, the consultant, give that text to Melanie for Melanie to send out. So if I give her that text on a Monday, by Tuesday, I should be getting some text messages back already. And someone will say, hi, I'm coming to Melanie's party, or I'm coming to Melanie's pampering, and no name. And I go, hi, do you have a name? And they start laughing and they go, oh, yeah, sorry, my name is, Loretta or whatever. So as those RSVPs come to me, I put under here where it says guest one, I put her name and her phone number because that's sometimes all I have. The next girl texts, I have her name and her number. But let's say this girl goes, oh, my daughter wants to come too. She's 17. Great. I add her. There's enough space on here for 8 people, which I typically don't do parties necessarily bigger than 8. Does that make sense? So it would be 8 plus the hostess. So that's a total of 9. And so I put on here things like their eye color if we're doing makeup, which I don't do makeup very often, but change one thing. This is the key question. What's one thing you'd like to change about their skin? In their goodie bag. I talked to one gal and she's like, I've got the worst scarring from acne. And I said, well, we're doing charcoal masks, but you need to try microdermabrasion. You will flip out. In fact, I'm going to slip it into your goodie bag, but don't say anything because no one else is going to get that. She's like, thank you so much. So pre-profiling is key, which is a whole different training topic. So in her goodie bag, if I promise her something, or if I'm asking her what color of little goodie bag she wants, because I buy those little canvas cosmetic bags on Amazon. And then down here it says, have you ever tried Mary Kay before? I want to know in advance if she already has a consultant. So I'm not going to spend any more time on this, but this is a sheet that I do. Now, if it's virtual or if it's in person, Should somebody that I pre-profiled and talked to not show up, either in person or virtual, I circle them and they are my number one priority the day after the party to reach out to them because they either have a sample packet they don't know how to use or they didn't show. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so bummed you weren't able to come into Melanie's tomorrow, last night. I still would love to get together. She can still get hostess credit for you. Can you and I get together in the next 24 hours? Does that make sense? Okay. So these forms are in under on board in my boards. They're under masters for booking, selling, and closing. And it's just it's like a hostess, it's like a hostess sheet. But you use it, not the hostess. So you put the hostess at the top and fill that all in. Does that make sense? So that is just one of many systems I use. Another system I have is you come home from a booth event and you have like 20 little slips of paper from people who sign up for a facial. But then on the way home, you stop and somebody at Rayleigh's stops you and they start talking to you. And then you come home with, you guys, honestly, let's be real, scratch paper, back of a business card, a napkin from a fast food, like anywhere you have paper, right? And you have all this stuff all over your desk. So this sheet is not designed for that. This sheet, somebody else designed for something else. But I went and put diagonal lines in the little slash things. So it gave me twice as many places to put. So I will come home from meeting somebody in the parking lot, like this gal that I just met. What I do with her? See, I don't know what I did with her slip. She should be on here. I put their name and their phone number. Way over here, I put where I met them. And then I put in here if I texted them, if they've responded. So when I do a booth event, I might come home from like an Oktoberfest and I might have 30 leads. I literally transfer all 30 people's information on here. This is anything I remember about them physically. Did they have kids? Did they have red glasses on? Were they wearing a hat? Did they have braids in their hair? Whatever. And then I literally shred all my booth event slips. I don't keep booth event slips anymore. I used to keep them in binders. Oh my gosh, no more. You can literally fit 30 leads on one sheet. So I have one that just titled 2026 people I have met. And it's like lady from the dry cleaners. And then I'll put in a lady from the nail shop. And I always put the date of when I met them. Okay. And contacting them right away is key. But you need a place to put leads, whether you want it in a single piece of paper. If you've got a system in your phone, you can totally do it digitally. If you're a digital girl and you don't want to create paper, I get it. The only reason I like this is I will go back now, where in my phone I won't because it's not visual, like I don't have it in one place. But I will go back to this and text people that the leads are 3, 4, 5, and 6 months old and still book parties. So just that's what works for me. May not work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, use a better system. Okay. When you're getting ready to go to the party, I've gone to parties before where I'll get there and I have the tray in the mirror and I don't have the insert. I'm like, oh man, does she have saran wrap or whatever? Or I'll get there and I have no pens or whatever. So I pre-package this. This is the zipper, the $1 zipper pouch from Mary Kay. And I'm just going to tell you really quick what's in here. Obviously, what's in here is the tray and mirror. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? So it has the tray and the mirror. It has the little insert and it has, what does this one say? Clear proof. I don't know where I got this one, but this is one that, I'll just show you this side. These little placemat things Mary Kay used to provide us with. I don't think they do anymore, but you can print them out. They're on boards. I've got them all over the place. But so this you'll have this tray, right? And the mirror. So that obviously I'm gonna undump, not undump. That's not even the correct word. I'm gonna dump out all my stuff. Okay. So the tray and the mirror, right? They go inside this. Then what else do they need? They need a pen that works. Try them on a piece of cardboard. You put a pen in there. You put a headband. It doesn't have to be this kind of cute fuzzy one, but you are going to wash them after they use them, or unless you're providing them and giving them out, which sometimes I do that, but I give them cosmetic bags instead. So anyway, so you've got this now like this. They need 2 cotton rounds, one for micellar water and one for oil-free eye makeup remover. I just get those at the Dollar Tree. And I give them 1 disposable washcloth, whether you use them or not. If you're doing charcoal and stuff, just load the bags. Don't ask me questions. No, I'm just teasing. And then of course a profile card. So even though, and I'll tell you what, I went to Emily Schuete's sheet and I was using that for a really long time, but I do love an actual profile card because I allow them, I said, today I'm making you an honorary consultant and I want you to take notes right here. So then they're taking notes on the bottom of this, if that sort of makes sense. So they're taking notes of all the things they liked. And then at the end, I collect these. So you can either use this, you can use a single sheet, whatever you want to do. Okay. So this is what these are all pre-packaged. They're literally just like this. And I'll have this young teenager from down the street put like 20 of these together. When I go to do a party of 4, I grab 5. You always grab 1 extra for when someone shows up who had not RSVP. Again, it's just a quick system, but you will never go to a party and say, I don't have washcloths, I don't have a pen, I don't have profiles, I can't find my stuff. Does that make sense? Okay, so you've got this put together. The next thing is when you go to a party, your roll up. So this is all my demo. All my demo is in here. The top pocket is the miracle set because that's what I demo mostly. I do not, and again, this is just my system. I don't put repair in here. You know why? I literally take repair in the box. There's something about seeing that box and that lid. When I put repair in here, one is it's quite bulky. It's to me, I don't know why I just don't sell as many sets. I love it's not as convenient to haul that dump box around, but I love the look of the box and taking the lid out. I pre-squirt the cleanser and the toner, our lifting serum, excuse me, and everything else. I let them see it and I scoop and I demo it while I'm holding the jar, if that makes sense. So in here is the miracle set. The next one is everything to do with your eyes. So it's micellar water, micellar water doesn't do with your eyes, but this is just what I have in here. Micellar water, eye makeup remover, eye gel, eye patches. This is anti-aging treatments, and the bottom is masks. Now, I have a second. So this is what I take to every party. This one is always goes with me. My second roll up has things like one pouch has clear proof in it. If I do somebody with blemish prone skin, I literally just tear the pocket off and take it with me. If there's going to be a guy there, I will take the men's skincare, tear that off. So I have two roll ups. That one is 100% goes with me all the time. Okay, so that's got the miracle set. I have another roll up that has a pocket of men's, a pocket of the Mary Kay skincare. I don't demo a lot of clear proof, to be honest with you. And then a pocket that has satin hands with satin lips in it. So you can use that. And so when you know you're doing something, you could just grab both roll ups. I've also seen consultants have a roll up full of fragrance, which if you can only imagine how cool that would be. So those are all options that you can have just to be more organized. You don't want to walk in with like 3 totes and a wheelie and look like you're moving in. You'll kind of freak your hostess out. So that keeps you, because I remember booking a party and I'm like, wait, where's my stuff? So now a lot of you that have the starter bag, you're like, well, what do you put in the starter bag, Diane? That's where I put these. These always go in my starter bag, right? The little cute briefcase looking thing. My roll up could go in there, but it's just really easy for me to carry that. So I throw these. So if I'm doing 4 people, I will throw 5 trays and mirrors. You can put squirt bottles in there and any of your handouts, placemats, like all of that stuff. Okay. And again, you could put your roll up in there you want, or I'll put in there the little extra pockets. Like I'll grab the men's and the satin hands, or the men's and the, whatever extra ones you need. But it's good to have a system so that nothing falls through the cracks. Okay. So demo, facial, train, mirror. Okay. The next thing is you get profiles back. Okay, you get these profiles back with their information, what they loved. First thing I do is I have a couple clipboards here on my desk. This one is neon pink just because it's super easy to find. I'll pick all my stuff off of here. So you could literally take profile cards when you get home and clip them on here. Why would you do that? One is if it's on here, it means it's a fresh client, meaning I just got her, right? So I'm going to make sure I do that 2-day follow-up. Okay, then this system is ridiculous. This will make you laugh. You don't tear it. I take it over, flip it over, and I put it long ways instead of this way. And I leave it like that until I actually enroll her on paper. On Mary Kay and Touch. And that way I can enroll her in the preferred customer program. Does that make sense? And as soon as I do that, I just put with a big old Sharpie, I'll just put on here. I don't want to show you her name and stuff because they're company, but I just put on here like MC. That means she's in my customers. Once she's in my customers, I'll know that I can enroll her. That makes sense? So you just want to have some system because otherwise you end up with these everywhere, receipts everywhere. Now, if she purchases product, I do attach her receipt. I usually would do something really like we're talking old school. I would literally take a stapler off my desk, staple just for right now, temporary. I'll staple her receipt with her profile just because I don't want anything loose. I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to not be able to find anything. And again, I put that here. Then when I'll call her and I'll say, hey, Megan, I'm checking in. Are you in love with your satin lips and your satin hands? What else did she buy? And your microderm. Tell me about that. Have you used the microderm yet? This is the 2-day call. Remember, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. And she goes, no, I'm happy with everything. Say, great. Is there any other samples? Oh, actually, I forgot to order the satin hands from you, or I forgot to order the blah, blah, whatever. Okay. So again, you can take care of them. But if you come home and there's no system or they paid you in full and you just file the receipt away or whatever in your pile of receipts, you're not going to know to do that 2-day checkup. And I also want to make sure that no one falls through the cracks and doesn't get enrolled in the preferred customer program. So most of the flyers that I've mentioned to you guys are on boards. My boards is open to my unit and my offspring. But if you are not in my unit or my offspring, I can either post it as an additional handout on the video on YouTube. And I can also, if some of you have access to my Facebook page for my unit, it's under files. So they're all in there, every single one of the sheets I've been talking about. But you want to have some kind of a system like this. Does that make sense? This also helped me for my weekly accomplishment sheet. So when I would literally sit down on just a Sunday night. I would take maybe 30 minutes on a Sunday night. The kids would be like watching a movie. I'd sneak in my office. I'd grab my receipts for the week. I would do my weekly accomplishment sheet. If y'all want to score points with your director, do that because that's really important. I would do my weekly accomplishment sheet, which at the end of the year saves you a ton of time for your taxes. And then I would put her in my system for the preferred customer program, and then I'm done. Okay. Now, if I get a message, like I call this gal, Megan, and check in on her and I don't get her, I'll literally take a Post-it note and put it on here and wrote left message. And then I'll text her, hey, Megan, this is Diane with Mary Kay with my picture. We met 2 days ago at Melanie's place, just checking in to make sure you're in love with your microderm. Check your voicemail and send me a text back. I'm letting her know I left her a message. I'm checking in on her skin. That's, you guys, what helps customer service. It keeps customers coming back to you, and it makes you very referable because they go, oh, well, if you're girl you can't count on, you need to call my Mary Kay girl because she's on top of it. All right. So we talked about profiles, receipts, booking the party with that sheet, someplace to put your leads when you get leads. And on these, I put these in a clear plastic page protector and just literally put them in a binder thing. And I can go back to 2 years ago, Oktoberfest. And you guys might go, Diane, what do you do with an old lead? So just the other day, so it's right now, end of July. I texted, I think it was 6 people from last October. So we're coming up on almost a year, right? And I said, hey, in the process of rearranging my office, I came across your spa session and gift certificate. I still have it, and I would love to come and pamper you privately. Is this still your number? Now, I only do that to people who at one point responded to me. If they've never responded in my 6 or 7 attempts, I'm done with them. But out of 7 attempts, if they've responded to at least one, either a text or a voicemail or whatever, then I'm assuming it's still a warm lead and I will reach out to them. So I sent it to like 7 people. 2 people immediately texted me back. One immediately I got on the phone with. I booked her for the next day and she just joined my team. So it makes me laugh because I'm thinking, what if I hadn't even have called her? What if I had assumed that lead was old, dead, wasn't interested? But at the time, she's like, "Oh, I'm so excited that I won a pampering session and a gift certificate, blah blah blah." And then we just had to keep changing the time. She was sick, then I was out of town, then her kids got sick. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So I hope these systems have helped you. Have a roll-up bag for your demo, makes you a lot more organized. Have your zipper pouches with all your stuff in them so you know what you're doing when you go to a party. You don't have to worry about, do I have a pen? Do I have whatever? The other thing is I do put down a placemat, and I apologize. I can find one right here. Let me pause this really quick. Okay, and the other thing that I have made is these are placemats from Mary Kay Corporate. These are on section 2. You can get, I think, 10 for $1 or something. They're pretty cheap. I slide them in a clear plastic page protector. This is my placemat when I do a party. Even if she's got a beautiful tablecloth, I don't want her tablecloth getting wet or damaged. And then on the other side of this is my closing sheet in color. So what I do is I put it with my closing sheet face down, obviously with the placemat face up. Their tray and mirror goes on here. Then when I go to close the party, I have them push off their tray. You can point these things out to them. And then I say, well, flip it over. Let me tell you about the sales that you can get. We talk about their sale. So I have these all pre-made. I have like 30 of these made. A couple are in Spanish and the rest are in English. But again, this is one of those things where you just wipe them off, take them to the next party, wipe them off, take them to the next party. Once you make this as a system, you just have a folder like this. They're all in here, like literally this entire pocket. That's all these are. One right after the other, after the other. Do you all see how many there's are? There's a ton of them. All right. Then the other thing I bring is the black and white version of this for them to take home. So I physically, once I go through the sets, I said, oh, let me give you one to take home and you can draw on it. And I let them draw all over it. And on the other side of this, that the black and white is the starter kit. And I do explain to them that they can either become a customer or if they prefer to become a consultant, it's only $35. Now, back in the day, not that long ago, I would never talk to them about joining because I was there to get them as a customer first. But I'm finding there are a lot of people who are literally joining on the spot who say, "Yeah, I'd rather be a team member than a customer." Okay. So I hope these systems have helped you. Just get, if you don't like these systems, get a system. If you are not a paper girl and you want to do everything digital, including the profiles, you can. I just find that if out of sight, it's out of mind. So if I don't have a profile here on my desk to do that 2 day call, I honestly forget to do the 2 day call. And that 2 day call will make such an amazing first impression. Trust me. I hope this has been helpful and I hope you guys will implement some of this and I hope it helps bring you great success.